everybody. You are welcome to Chatting Up the Irish. Tonight I'm going to speak to a very good friend of mine from Tubbercurry, County Sligo. She is a hotelier there. She owns Cawley's Hotel in Tubbercurry. She's also very involved in the community. She'll speak to us about our food trails and all that Sligo and the Northwest has to offer. So hang with us for about 30 minutes. I think you'll probably really enjoy this. Hi Teresa, it's fantastic to have you join us on Chatting Up the Irish. You own a hotel in Tubbercurry, County Sligo. Can you tell us about that hotel?
Sure, May. It's been family owned since 1964, family owned and operated. My parents, Joe and Jean, bought the building when they were 21 and 23.
Really?
There are 6 kids in the business, so they always had a lot of staff, basically. Where we were wondering, was that why they had so many children? The building was originally built in 1885, and it's been operating as a hotel, as far as we know, since 1895. We actually have all of the original deeds. We were very lucky because a lot of property deeds burned in Dublin Castle. But because he was actually solicitors who sold on the building in 1895, solicitors that bought the building in 1895, they had a copy of all the original deeds, which we have and are available for anyone to look. So it's good. So
that's fantastic.
First registered documentation of it being a hotel was 1895.
And do you know what it was before then?
It was actually built for priests, for Canon Staunton.
Really?
And that was the main 3-story building. And then when my parents bought it in 1964, they then bought the property, which was 3 doors up, then the property 4 doors up, and then eventually bought the property that was next door. And just kept extending until we have, that's why our building is so rambling and has so many nooks and crannies. A little anecdote, where I'm sitting at the moment in the bar and the bar restaurant, my dad was sitting down one night with a builder and they designed the building on the back of a packet of cigarettes, 20 major, and built it. Started building it basically the next day and applied for planning permission afterwards, after it was built, which was very, very often the case back then.
Of course it was. Back then, and they got away with it back then. They wouldn't probably get away with it now.
It would be knocked now. Once they started to put up 2 stones, the county council would know about it now already.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, you're in Tubbercurry, a small little town in South Sligo. An awful lot to offer around the area, Teresa.
It's County Sligo is just amazing. It really is. I lived abroad for 22 years.
Yeah, you were in France, weren't you?
France was the last country I was in. I used to work for Hyatt International. So when I left college, I worked in Hyatt International in Switzerland, London. Then I moved to Belgium, where I met my husband.
Yes, here.
Pierre, yes. And then we moved I did the opening in Israel. I was part of the opening team in the Hyatt in Israel. Then moved to Australia, where our first daughter was born. And then Pierre and I moved back to London, and he ended up working in the original hotel that I had been working in London, but I had taken a career break at that stage to raise our daughter. Then we moved to France. And I actually went back to work for Hyatt after having a break, and went back to Hyatt, an amazing company to work for. And then we decided to come home. My parents were selling, and I didn't want anyone else to get it. So we ended up coming home 17 years.
Yeah, keep it in the family. So you were there how many years now?
So we're here 17 years, and I've lived in so many places, but County Sligo, it really is, it's the place I want to be.
Of course.
It's so much to offer. You know that yourself, you're from here originally.
Yeah.
It's got mountains, it's got lakes, it's got absolute fabulous scenery, it's got
Yeah.
archaeology, it's got fishing. It's just got so much to offer.
And you were involved in the Sligo Food Trail as well, Teresa. Talk about that.
Sligo Food Trail was set up a few years ago, and it is bringing like-minded businesses together. We promote all of the beautiful food that's locally produced here. Because it is locally produced, organic if possible, and do you need to go there?
No,
Oh,
no,
sorry, I
yeah,
just heard the door.
yeah.
Then it started off with restaurants and then took on markets and took on local producers. And Sligo Food Trail, it's an award-winning food trail, and the members are extremely enthusiastic. We were led by Anthony Gray in the beginning. Anthony is still a member, and Anthony has now just moved on to Sligo Tourism.
Well,
So that's absolutely amazing for Sligo
he
Tourism.
owns a
And
fantastic restaurant in Sligo town as well,
he
doesn't he?
actually too, he owns Ellabon and Hooped, both of who are part of the food trail. And he's a fabulous ambassador for Sligo.
Well,
So anyone interested in food, foodie destinations, pop over to the Sligo Food Trail.
well, having said that, Teresa, now, and all of my guests that have ever come over and stayed with you in Cawley's Hotel in Tubbercurry in County Sligo have always raved about the quality of food that you serve. It is absolutely nobody could outdo you when it comes to serving fantastic food. And it's all, it's a lot of it comes from your own garden, I think.
Some of it comes from our own garden, or the meat comes from Wynn's local. He is literally 100 meters away. If I needed, I could tell a client what farm the leg of lamb he's
Yeah,
eating is coming.
yeah, yeah.
That's the beauty of living in a small rural place and using local produce.
Mm.
For example, we use Dexter beef burgers that comes from Oliver Davy just out the road. I call Oliver, he brings in the food.
Yeah,
And we're very blessed that way.
yeah, you
Mhm.
are. And you have
And
great.
we've got very good.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, people that I bring over with Secret Ireland tours, they stay with you, and they come from all over America. And I've never, not once yet, have I heard anyone complain. And actually, they have done the exact opposite. They have raved about the food in Cawley's. And I've even had vegans and vegetarians and all sorts of people with all sorts of different tastes, and they have been absolutely bowled over by the standard and the quality and the staff. The staff you have are fantastic. Yeah. So that,
Because we so many of the like most of our food is made in house, we can cater even at the last minute. We can cater, and if I don't have it in the fridge, I will go downtown. They'll be ordering it, and we'll have someone running down to get
yeah,
whatever we need from the local butcher.
yeah, absolutely. It's brilliant. So the Sligo Food Trail, and that takes in, would that take in Grange and Cliffany and all of those places?
Yeah,
North Sligo?
it takes all of County Sligo.
Wow.
And there are certain criteria that you have to adhere to, because we don't want to dilute our offering. We
Yeah.
want it to be, to be genuine. An amazing thing that's just come on board recently is WB Cafe in Sligo. Actually married an oyster producer,
Okay.
and they actually have an oyster tour where you can go out, see the oyster farm, and then taste the oysters afterwards. So that's really worth doing as well.
That would
So
be fantastic.
yeah, Sligo oyster experience, and their oysters are amazing. We actually, for our daughter's wedding 2 years ago, they came with an oyster cart. And so many of our clients, that is the one thing that they remember about the wedding and how great it was. And we think everything else we do, have everything, and the thing they remember is the oysters.
The oysters, there you go.
But I
But
mean, Sligo oysters, they're amazing because the Garvogue River flows over the oyster beds on its way out to the sea, and it gives a particular, maybe kind of a peaty taste to the oyster.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, but it's probably the water's coming from the bogs.
Yeah.
up further upstream, yeah. And of course, again, like that, being a coastal, near enough to the coast, the Wild Atlantic Way, for instance, but you've got fresh fish. I mean, when we talk at home about fish of the day, we actually mean it's caught in the morning and it's brought and it's cooked and it's served that day.
We have 4 deliveries of fish from our fish supplier a week, and if I really need it, they will deliver 6 in the morning.
Yeah,
The will be passing somewhere. Another lovely thing as well is we've Mullickmore lobsters. The caught in Mullickmore, they have the oyster, or they sorry, excuse me, the lobster farms down there. And if someone really wants fresh lobster, not a problem. You just go and contact them in Mullickmore.
yeah, but Ireland now is becoming one of the major destinations for foodies.
Mm,
It's
very much so.
beginning to be worldwide. There's a high standard of food in Ireland now compared to
And
what
there's
it was years and years ago, Teresa.
Yes, definitely. There's a lot of new food trails as well. Fáilte Ireland have done an amazing job promoting and helping the development of different food trails. And it's no longer the bacon and cabbage image that a lot of people had. But again, there are people who want that.
Exactly it.
For in our restaurant, our lunch trade is very much traditional turkey and ham, bacon and cabbage. But then you can have the special of the day, which will be a little bit different. And then in the evening, you'll be looking at your rack of lamb, your
Yeah,
oysters,
yeah,
your duck.
and it's all fresh food.
Yeah, it's Ireland has a fabulous reputation, thankfully. Thankfully.
Thankfully, yeah, it is. And of course, the Wild Atlantic Way. Explain to people about the Wild Atlantic Way. Because
So
it is a unique kind of a concept, isn't it?
it's amazing. Fáilte Ireland had given themselves 10 years to promote the Wild Atlantic Way. And in less than 2 years, it had reached the goal that they wanted already. So basically, it's all around the west coast of Ireland, from the north right down to the south. It is the coast road that has been very well signposted. Basically, the road was always there. It's just we've got signs now
Yes,
to say whether it's north or south or whatever. And a really interesting thing as well, they have put different discovery points right along the Wild Atlantic Way. And they have, very interesting, they have a Wild Atlantic Way passport, which you can get, and then you get a stamp in different areas along the way, just to commemorate your journey. Don't do it quickly. That's the problem with a lot of people in Ireland. That's what I love about your tours and what we're constantly told about people who are traveling with you. It's not hop on a bus, 2 hours, drive, spend the whole day on the bus. You stop. I have seen you change a tour with 20 minutes notice because someone said they wanted to do something
yeah,
different. You really need to take your time. If you have to, do the first tour quickly and come back on the second
yeah,
tour and really take your time and do it.
yeah. Yeah, because it is, I mean, to get a sense of the places in Ireland, you really need to give people, I mean, you can't have people talk about having a packed tour, but then you're just exhausted all the time, number one. You don't get the time to get a sense of the place that you're visiting. You probably don't get to talk to anyone about the history of what you're looking at. And I like to give people that experience. I want them to get the sense of the place and have
And
enough time to get the sense of the place and be able to come back then at night and enjoy the fun that we supply at night time in the bar. Like you have some sessions in the bar now in your place. We've had great fun in your place, dancing and
and
music
they
and
also get to meet. I mean, from some of your tours, I'm in contact with those people.
yeah,
Facebook, Instagram, quick messages. Taking it slowly, you make friends,
you
and
do.
and some of them are going to be lifelong
Yeah,
friends.
yeah. And that's the great thing about
And
tours.
they're ambassadors for your business as well. It's amazing. I post something up on Instagram. I'm not very techy, but I post something up on Instagram, and I have some people from your original tours that are liking, that are sharing. Same thing on
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah,
Word of mouth. It's
yeah,
absolutely amazing. So that's what I love about your tours. Arrive, they unpack. They don't have to pack their bag again for 5 days. And if they wish, they go to the local laundrette the night before they leave, and they're leaving with
clean clothes.
clean clothes, ironed, packed, and ready to go. So
And
they're
for
going
any of
home.
For any of our listeners, I want to tell you about Teresa Cawley. She has a gift, and it's a rare gift. I have brought groups of 25 to 26 people into Cawley's Hotel in Tubbercurry. And within a half an hour, that woman knows everyone's name and she can call them by their name and she has it like that.
Wasn't
It's
sure what you
actually it's an
were saying.
amazing thing to watch you do that, Teresa. And I've seen you do it over and over again. You just know their names. It's amazing, and they appreciate that. It is really a rare gift.
Thank you. I wasn't sure what you were going to say there.
You're probably afraid of what I'd say.
You never know what May is going to come out with. You take her as you find her.
Yes, exactly. That's the way it is. Well,
One
talk.
of the I love working with you.
Yeah, I know we do have good fun. But I'll tell you where myself and Teresa got very friendly first was years and years ago at the summer school in Tubbercurry,
Mm.
Teresa. And I go
Uh,
in tell everybody about the atmosphere in the hotel during the summer school.
it's amazing. Basically, we are booked from one year to the next. And there's a standing joke that to get into the book for the reservations, you actually have to marry a collie, which my brother, he eventually got into the book after 12 years of trying. So absolutely fabulous festival of Irish music, dance, poetry, recitation, sing songs. The same people have been coming for years, and it's an extremely international festival. I mean, you've got people from all over the world. Um, there just aren't enough rooms that week. You could sell your rooms 100 times over. So a lot of the local houses take people in for bed and breakfast or rent out their spare bedroom or whatever. Their kids have gone off to college. A whole week of learning how to play instruments and then putting into practice in the pub that evening what you've learned. And how I met May, we are lucky enough to cater for the teachers. There are 3 establishments in town. The organisers spread the business around, which is absolutely fabulous, which is all about what community spirit is about. And that's how I got to know May.
Yeah,
Coming in lunch.
every single
And
day.
then very late in the pub that night.
Very, yeah, yeah. Teresa hated to see me coming
Tea.
because it would be all night long. And then I was talking to Joe Kerskadden, and
Oh, yeah.
we were talking about the Brown Bread and Jam Club, and he told me about how this came about, how you ran out of.
Well, Joe said, let's have a storytelling night. We thought, okay, great. And, we weren't really expecting the volume of people that came, and they would just kept coming and coming. It was absolutely fabulous, fabulous night. So we said, okay, brown bread, soda bread, homemade jam, homemade bread, and we came out with mugs of tea. We ran out, so we went into the mugs, and they loved it so much. It ended up being every year we brought out brown bread and mug tea.
Yeah.
So people are looking forward to that because it's kind of it's broken into 2 sections. And then once the storytelling, and May, you can attest to this, once the storytelling finishes and all the non-residents leave, there's a session that goes on, and some
great session.
get breakfast the next morning.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we're still up I don't know how you survive all this, but fair play to you, Teresa. You stick with us.
Crash, you leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
I keep going non-stop, and then after you leave, and then okay, that's it. I can go to bed for the day.
Well, I've brought a few groups over around that time. I call the tour that I sent her around that event because I think it's a very I mean, it really submerges the visitor into our culture because you've got the storytelling, you've got singing, you've got the music, you've got the whole culture there on one night. And
Yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes.
the Irish are known for delivering fantastic stories, and their delivery, the people that come from all over Ireland come to your hotel that night, and it really is an amazing time to watch these people deliver their different stories, and they're all very funny stories. One of
And
them is funnier than the other.
I look forward to it as well because it is so rare. We only do it once a year.
Yes.
So people actually, and people say, why don't you do this more often, whatever? But it would be very hard to keep the momentum
Yeah,
going and people look forward to this
yeah,
night. They write
yeah,
specifically for this night.
yes.
I know
No,
it's
you're better
amazing.
off doing it once a year. So I have the Quaint Towns and Villages tour that's centered around that, and of course we stay in the hotel and we're there and we see the whole thing, and it's great
Don't
fun.
give much information about it
No,
because it's lovely. Sometimes it's great to see the expression on your visitors' faces with the what is she going to get me to do now? Give away too much information.
yeah, exactly. We keep it secret, but it is a brown bread and jam club. It was a really great, brilliant idea to come up with because I don't think it's really done anywhere else. Not the way you do it.
I'm not sure, but
I don't think so. I don't know. So now there's a few things around Tubbercurry, especially. There's a few places that people should visit. Like, talk to me about the eagles flying. That's a very interesting place.
it's amazing. Eagles Flying is a research centre, and it is only about 11 kilometres from us. It's run by a German couple who came back to live in Ireland,
Yeah.
had some birds of prey with them, and the neighbours started calling in to see them. And it got to the stage that the neighbours just kept calling in. So they said, okay, they had a specific day then that they were going to open, and it is now 7 days a week from April to November.
Yeah.
They have two shows, either indoor or outdoor, because which was amazing. They built an indoor arena because, as you know, the weather in Ireland, we're not
Yeah.
always blessed. But it is educational, it's enjoyable. There's a petting zoo for young children. Absolutely fantastic. And they do a lot of research and aid sick birds. And no, very, very, very good
It
show.
was I brought some people to the show, one of the shows, and it was very good. And you can get to touch the owls and touch the
Mm.
bald-headed eagles and everything. It really is great. And then you have
And so passionate about it.
yeah,
They love what they're doing.
yeah. And then you have like Carrowkeel and Carrowmore. You're talking about ancient sites there. It's not too far away from you either.
Yeah, you've got the Caves of Kesh, you've got Carrowkeel, you've got Carramore megalithic tombs, you have Queen Maeve's grave, and of course, you have the Hill of the Fairies. Don't forget
Yeah,
Knocknashee,
not
just
she.
road. And Knocknashee, actually, the local community have done tremendous work out there, and it is now part of the Sligo Walks, and they have actually stepped up the side of the mountain. Which makes it much more accessible. Two Bronze Age cairns at the top there that they've been recently doing some excavations. The view from up there, 360 degrees. On a good day, you can see over to Benbulben, you can see over to Crowpatrick on the other side.
Wow.
Uh, I don't know if you know about it, but County Sligo, they've actually applied to UNESCO to see if we can get recognition because we have a fabulous concentration of Neolithic, megalithic
Yeah.
monuments in the area. And it's honestly, you cannot describe the beauty of Sligo.
Yeah, you can't, and it's not as well known as down south. You know,
So
I mean, it's amazing. Look at all the beaches we have. We have what, 5 beaches? We have
the,
Innisfawn, we have Dunmore, we have Ross's Point, Strandhill, Straja Beach. I mean, and the history, Mullaghmore, and the history of it is unbelievable.
and we have so many walks as well. You've got the Benbulben Forest Walk,
Oh,
which
yeah,
developed in the last few years. And when you're walking along that, it's either a 3K or a 5K. If you take the 5K, at one stage, you're right at the foot of Benbulben, and you go around the corner, and you've got all of Sligo Bay, and absolutely fabulous. It's a very, very good county for anyone who's interested in hiking. We work a lot with John Barrett from Wild Wet Adventures.
I'm
That's a
going to,
name you have to get
yeah,
right.
I am
Uh,
going to definitely talk to him. I'd love to have him on.
well, John does kayaking, stand-up paddling, canoeing, but he's also a fully qualified walking guide.
Perfect.
So we actually do a tour with him called the Ox Mountains from Stunning Heights and Mysterious Depths.
Oh,
He
lovely.
brings you to the top of certain mountains, and then he brings you into caves, passage caves, or whatever that not a lot of people know about. There's also another girl who I must actually put you in contact with her. I don't know, Ariel Robinson.
Okay.
She does a lot of walking and horseback on heritage, and
Yeah.
there's so many activity providers in the area that
Amazing.
would take small groups, take them at their own pace,
Yeah.
and you do this every day. You kind of tailor make a
Yeah.
package to whatever clients you have with you. We can do that because we work with locals.
And then you have, of course, you have the Heritage Centre in Gertrude that does so much research and so much archive work.
Or into
All the
traditional music.
traditional music. It really is fantastic. Yeah, we really we're a rich little county, and it's not as well known as, let's say, Kerry or Cork, but it has as much to offer.
It's very different. Kerry and Cork have been known for so long. They're very touristy, whereas Sligo would be more rugged, more hidden.
Yeah.
And we want to tell everyone about it, but also, let's not go overboard.
Yes, yeah,
Everyone is
exactly.
take them in small groups. The great thing about the way Sligo is developing, it's it's developing sustainably. It's people who are very respectful of what we have,
Mhm.
and I think we're not willing to jeopardize what we have.
Yeah.
If you know what I
Yes,
mean.
exactly. Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you have it, but you want to look after it with respect
Yes,
that you don't want it overcrowded or um, destroyed by, kind of
overdeveloped.
put overdevelopment. That would, yeah, that's just not. It's kind of like, you can go up to Slieve League, for instance, and it's just the pure rugged beauty of it.
Absolutely fabulous. Yes.
Absolutely. But I mean, all around the northwest is fantastic.
It's only 2.5 hours away from us, Slieve League, and it is just as beautiful as the Cliffs of Moher. It's a
Absolutely.
different, it's a different beauty,
Yeah.
and it's not as well known, but it's absolutely fabulous.
Fabulous, yeah. And there, that's the thing with ye where you are, Teresa. Tubbercurry is really very central to the north and to the west and to the northwest,
Yes,
and
it's,
it's
it's
and it's very very close as well. It's only what 2.5 hours from Dublin.
yes, it's a great central base,
It is.
and just to unpack your bags, come home in the evening, come to a bar, come to staff where people know your name.
Yeah.
They know on Monday evening you told them you're allergic to mushrooms. We still know that on Thursday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, it's
And
this is
and
like
that,
it's
yeah,
just amazing.
and that's what people have said to me as well. That's exactly the feeling that they have, especially in your place. They feel like they're coming home every evening.
Mm.
It's not like they're coming to their hotel room. They feel like they're coming home. And that's exactly the idea behind my tours, that people would feel like they're at home away from home. And your place makes them feel like that.
Hopefully
Yes, it
that's
does.
we're not big, we're not fancy. We just try to give good service and look after people.
But you absolutely do. So, for
detail.
anyone, Teresa, before we're running out of time, for anyone who would like to get in touch with you, or if they're going to Ireland at some stage, even without Secret Ireland tours, and they want to stay with you, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, best way is to call us, contact us directly, because we can kind of tailor make your holiday afterwards. We can give you a lot of tips and whatever. You can visit our website, which is cawleysguesthouse.ie. So www.cawleysguesthouse.ie. Call us directly. If you look on our Facebook page, don't look on our Instagram at the moment because I'm only learning how to do that. And one of my goals during lockdown is actually to have a good Instagram account.
Yeah.
So basically, we're on all of the OTAs, the booking.com, etc. But obviously, I prefer you call us directly.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Teresa, thank you so much for joining, chatting up the Irish on this episode. And hopefully, we'll get to you before the end of the year. I'm hoping that
Great.
that'll happen. So, we're sponsored by Secret Ireland Tours, everybody. And if you want to find us, we are on Facebook, we're on we're on YouTube, Rumble, and a whole pile of other things. And this program will be going up at 7 o'clock on one particular Tuesday. I don't know yet, but we will be advertising it when it goes up. Teresa, thanks again for joining me for the 30
Thank you
minutes.
very much.